The set was loud, crowded, and impatient. Lights burned hot. Crew members moved fast, shouting over one another. Cameras waited. Time was money, and no one wanted to waste it, especially not on extras. Jackie Chan stood near the edge of the set, barely noticeable among dozens of young stunt performers. He was in his early 20s, small, disciplined, hungry, and completely invisible. To most people there, he was just another body meant to fall, roll, or get hit on cue. But to Jackie, this was everything. This was Bruce Lee's set. Bruce Lee stood at the center, calm amid chaos. Even when doing nothing, he commanded attention. His posture alone seemed to slow the air around him. He wasn't shouting. He wasn't rushing. He watched everything, angles, timing, people. Jackie watched him back. Not with envy, with focus. He studied how Bruce moved between takes, how he adjusted distance without thinking, how he spoke softly but never needed to repeat himself. Jackie wanted to be like that one day, strong, respected, undeniable. The scene they were filming was simple on paper. Bruce would fight through a group. Jackie was assigned to rush in from the side and get knocked down. A basic job. One hit, one fall. They rehearsed once. Faster, someone shouted. They reset. The camera rolled again. Jackie ran in, committed, a fraction too eager. Bruce turned. And in that split second, timing failed. Bruce's arm moved, not full power, not reckless, but real. Too real. The impact landed. Jackie felt it instantly. A sharp flash. His head snapped back. The ground rushed up. The sound of the set disappeared into a dull ringing. He stayed down longer than planned. The crew froze. Then someone laughed nervously. Cut! Jackie tried to sit up. Bruce didn't move. He raised his hand. Stop, Bruce said. Not loud, not angry, but the entire set went silent. And Jackie Chan knew. Something had just changed. The word stop still hung in the air. Crew members looked at each other, confused. Sets didn't stop like this. Not for a stuntman. Not for an extra who got hit a little harder than planned. Accidents happened all the time. You shook it off. You moved on. But Bruce Lee hadn't moved on. He walked toward Jackie, every step measured, eyes locked on him. The chatter that usually followed a cut never came. Even the assistant director stayed quiet, unsure whether to interrupt. Jackie pushed himself up onto one elbow. His head was buzzing. His pride hurt more than his jaw. He tried to smile, to signal that he was fine, that he could take it, that he belonged. Bruce knelt in front of him. You okay? Bruce asked. Jackie nodded too quickly. Yes, sir. I'm fine. Bruce didn't answer right away. He studied Jackie's face, the tension in his neck, the way his breathing was just a little off. Bruce had seen this 1,000 times. Young fighters hiding pain because they thought toughness was the price of entry. Bruce shook his head. No, he said calmly. You're not fine. The words weren't harsh. They were precise. Bruce stood and turned to the crew. We reset, he said. And we slow it down. Someone protested. But we're already behind. Bruce raised his hand again. That was enough. He turned back to Jackie. You rushed, Bruce said. Why? Jackie swallowed. I didn't want to miss my timing. Bruce nodded. You didn't miss timing. You abandoned control. Jackie didn't fully understand yet, but he felt the weight of the lesson. Bruce helped him to his feet himself. Didn't call for anyone else. That gesture mattered. Bruce addressed everyone now. If someone gets hurt, we don't push through it. We fix the mistake. Mine included. That surprised the room more than the hit had. Bruce Lee had just taken responsibility. Jackie stood there, stunned. Not by the pain, but by the fact that the most powerful man on set had stopped everything. Because of him. And Jackie would remember that feeling long after the bruise faded. They moved Jackie to the side, away from the lights. Someone handed him water. Someone else offered a towel. Jackie accepted both, nodding, still trying to process what had just happened. Sets didn't stop for people like him. Not usually. Bruce stayed. That was the part no one expected. He didn't go back to his mark. Didn't review the shot. He crouched beside Jackie, elbows resting on his knees, eyes level. Not above, not down. Tell me what you felt, Bruce said. Jackie hesitated. He had answers ready, the ones young stuntmen learn early. I'm fine. It's nothing. I can take it. But something in Bruce's voice made those answers feel wrong. I felt fast, Jackie said finally. Too fast. Bruce nodded. Fast without balance becomes late. Jackie frowned. Late. Bruce picked up a small stone from the ground and tossed it lightly upward. It rose, paused, and fell back into his palm. Speed isn't how quickly you move, Bruce said. It's how early you arrive. Jackie watched the stone like it held secrets. You ran because you wanted to be seen, Bruce continued. That's normal. But when you want to be seen, you stop seeing. The words hit deeper than the strike. Jackie lowered his eyes. I didn't want to disappoint. Bruce smiled slightly. Then don't rush. Control never disappoints. Across the set, the crew waited. No one complained. No one checked their watches. Something about the moment felt instructional, like they were all students now. Bruce stood and extended his hand. Jackie took it, feeling the steadiness in Bruce's grip. Not forceful, just certain. We'll do it again, Bruce said. But this time you don't chase the moment. You let it come to you. Jackie nodded. The cameras reset. The lights burned hot again. But something had changed. Jackie wasn't just another face anymore. He was a student. And Bruce Lee had just taught him his first real lesson, without throwing another punch. The cameras rolled again, but the energy was different. Jackie felt it before anyone said a word. His feet touched the ground with more awareness. His shoulders stayed loose. He breathed, not fast, not shallow. Bruce stood across from him, calm as ever. But now his eyes carried intention, not pressure. Ready? Bruce asked. Jackie nodded. This time he meant it. The cue came. Jackie moved, but not forward. He shifted first. Just a fraction. Enough to stay balanced. Enough to see Bruce's movement before it arrived. Bruce turned, arm moving in the same arc as before, but Jackie was already adjusting. The strike passed cleanly. Jackie fell, controlled, safe, exactly where he needed to be. Cut. No ringing in his ears. No shock. Just clarity. Bruce smiled. Better. The crew exhaled collectively, like a class released from tension. Someone chuckled. Another clapped once before stopping, unsure if applause was appropriate. Bruce didn't acknowledge it. He walked over to Jackie again. You didn't rush, he said. You waited. Jackie nodded. I felt slower. Bruce shook his head. You felt earlier. That distinction stayed with Jackie. Between takes, Bruce demonstrated quietly, no audience, no show. He showed Jackie how to read shoulders, how hips tell the truth before hands do, how intent leaks before motion. Jackie listened like his future depended on it, because somehow he knew it did. An assistant director watched from a distance and whispered to another crew member, "He's teaching him." And he was right. The set wasn't just a place to film anymore. It had become a classroom where mistakes were corrected, not punished, where control mattered more than courage, where speed bowed to understanding. When the scene wrapped, Bruce nodded once at Jackie and returned to his mark. Jackie stood there for a moment longer, realizing something important. He hadn't just survived a mistake. He had been chosen to learn. Filming paused for a longer break than usual. Crew members drifted toward coffee and cigarettes, but Jackie stayed where he was, stretching quietly, replaying the movement in his mind. The difference between the first take and the second felt enormous, yet nothing dramatic had changed. Same choreography, same timing, same people, different intention. Bruce approached him again, holding a towel. He handed it to Jackie without ceremony. You learn fast, Bruce said. Jackie blinked. Praise from Bruce Lee wasn't something you prepared for. I just listened, he replied. Bruce nodded. That's why. They sat on a low crate near the edge of the set. Around them, life continued. Lights adjusted, cables dragged, voices raised, but the space between them felt insulated, almost private. "When I was your age," Bruce said, "I thought speed was everything. Faster hands, faster feet, faster reactions." He paused. "Then I realized speed without awareness is just panic moving quickly." Jackie laughed softly, rubbing his jaw. "That explains a lot." Bruce smiled. "Pain is a good teacher, but it shouldn't be the only one." Jackie hesitated, then asked the question that had been sitting in his chest since the hit. "Why did you stop everything?" Bruce looked at him, genuinely curious. "Why wouldn't I? Because I'm just a stunt guy," Jackie said. "They could have replaced me." Bruce's expression changed, not anger, but firmness. "Never think that," he said. "Anyone who puts their body on the line deserves respect. Skill grows when people feel safe enough to learn." That sentence settled deep. Jackie realized something then. Bruce Lee wasn't just powerful because of how he fought. He was powerful because of how he treated people. The set respected him not out of fear, but trust. The assistant director called them back. As Jackie stood, Bruce added one last thing. "Remember, don't try to impress the camera. Impress your balance. The camera will follow." Jackie nodded. Years later, he would repeat those words to his own stunt teams. But right now, all he knew was this. Bruce Lee hadn't just stopped the set. He had changed how Jackie Chan saw the craft forever. The day should have ended like any other shoot. Schedules updated. Equipment packed. Crew drifting home. But Jackie stayed behind, helping fold mats, watching Bruce from a distance. He wasn't assigned to. He just didn't want to leave yet. Bruce noticed. "You're still here," Bruce said, approaching. Jackie nodded. "I wanted to practice the fall again. Slower." Bruce smiled. "Good. But not alone." They cleared a small space on the mat. No cameras. No lights. Just the echo of footsteps and the hum of generators outside. Bruce showed him how to enter the fall before the strike arrived, how to accept momentum instead of resisting it, how to let the ground do half the work. "Fighting isn't about hitting," Bruce said, "and stunt work isn't about falling. Both are about timing your surrender." Jackie tried again. This time, the fall looked effortless, almost gentle. "Better," Bruce said. "Now do it 10 times. They worked quietly. Jackie's muscles burned, but his mind stayed clear. Each repetition felt less like copying and more like understanding. Bruce corrected with a touch here, a word there. Never raised his voice. Never rushed. As they finished, Bruce sat on the mat, stretching. "You know," he said, "you don't move like everyone else." Jackie froze. "Is that bad?" Bruce shook his head. "It's dangerous. In a good way. You're loose, playful. You recover fast. Most fighters don't know how to fall. You do." Jackie hadn't thought of it that way. "Don't become me," Bruce added. "Become you, but cleaner." That stayed with Jackie more than any technique. When they finally stood, Bruce bowed slightly. Jackie returned it deeper than before. The set lights went dark. But something had been lit. And Jackie knew this wasn't a one-day lesson. It was the beginning of a path he hadn't known he was allowed to walk. The next morning, the set felt different. No one said anything about the delay from the day before. No one joked about the hit or whispered about mistakes. But people watched Jackie more closely now, not with suspicion but curiosity. Something about him had changed, even if they couldn't name it. He moved differently, not faster, not bigger, more aware. When Jackie ran through background choreography, his falls were cleaner, his recoveries sharper. He didn't rush to prove himself anymore. He trusted the moment to arrive. And somehow the camera found him more often. Bruce noticed too. Between takes, he would glance over, nod once, then return to his own work. No micromanaging, no hovering. That nod meant more than applause ever could. During lunch, Jackie sat alone, replaying movements in his head. He didn't notice Bruce sit across from him until the tray touched the table. "You thinking too much," Bruce said. Jackie smiled sheepishly. Trying not to waste yesterday. Bruce shook his head. You can't waste learning. Only ignore it. They ate in silence for a moment. You know why most people don't change? Bruce asked. Jackie looked up. Because it's hard? Because it costs them the version of themselves they're proud of, Bruce replied. Change asks you to let go of being right. Jackie thought about that, about how close he'd been to brushing off the hit as bad luck, about how easy it would have been to pretend he already knew enough. I don't want to be right, Jackie said quietly. I want to be better. Bruce smiled, not wide, not dramatic. Genuine. Then you will be. The assistant director called for places. Jackie stood, bowed slightly to Bruce, and jogged toward his mark. For the first time, he didn't feel like an extra trying to be noticed. He felt like a craftsman at work. And Bruce Lee, watching from across the set, knew something most people didn't yet. Jackie Chan wouldn't stay in the background for long. That afternoon, filming moved to a tighter space, narrower angles, closer contact. The kind of setup where mistakes multiplied fast. Jackie felt the old urge creeping back. Be quick, be impressive, don't slow the day down. Bruce caught it before it became action. Careful, he said softly as Jackie passed him. Jackie paused. With what? With trying to show improvement, Bruce replied. Improvement shows itself. They took their marks. The scene demanded chaos. Men rushing, bodies colliding, the illusion of danger without the reality of it. Jackie remembered Bruce's words and did something that felt counterintuitive. He waited. When his cue came, he entered cleanly, letting the motion of others create his opening. He fell when he needed to fall. He recovered when space allowed it. Nothing flashy, nothing forced. The take ended. Cut. Print. That almost never happened on the first try. The director looked up from the monitor. Who's that? He asked, pointing vaguely in Jackie's direction. Someone answered, Stunt guy. The director squinted. He's good. Bruce didn't react. Jackie did inside. Not pride. Relief. Proof that restraint could be seen. Later, as equipment was moved and lights reset, Bruce spoke again. You'll be tempted to copy what works today, he said. Don't. Jackie frowned. But it worked. For today, Bruce replied. Tomorrow asks a different question. Jackie nodded, slowly understanding. Bruce wasn't teaching him a style. He was teaching him a relationship with movement, one that changed with context. As the day wrapped, Bruce gathered the cast briefly. He thanked the stunt team, named no one specifically, but his eyes found Jackie once more. Good work, he said. 2 words. Enough. Jackie walked home that night exhausted, bruised, and strangely light. He realized the lesson hadn't been about being hit or falling better or even timing. It was about permission. Permission to slow down. Permission to think. Permission to become something new. And that permission had come from the only person on set who didn't need to prove anything. That night, Jackie couldn't sleep. His body was tired, arms heavy, legs sore, but his mind kept replaying the same small details. Bruce's hand raised, the set going silent, the way Bruce knelt instead of standing over him, the calm certainty in his voice when he said, You're not fine. Jackie had been told many things in his short career. Be tougher. Don't complain. If you fall, get up faster next time. No one had ever told him to stop and look at why he fell in the first place. He sat up in bed and mimicked the movement Bruce had shown him. Just the entry, just the balance shift. Slowly, carefully, again, again. He wasn't training to be stronger. He was training to be earlier. The next day on set, Jackie arrived before call time. He stretched quietly, rehearsed falls without impact, focused on breathing. When the crew arrived, he was already warm, not physically but mentally. Bruce noticed. You changed your mornings, Bruce said as he passed. Jackie nodded. I changed how I start. Bruce smiled. That's the hardest part. They filmed another fight sequence. Jackie executed everything cleanly. No mistakes, no hesitation. At one point, Bruce adjusted choreography mid-take to give Jackie a tighter angle. It was subtle. Only someone watching closely would catch it. Jackie did. That adjustment felt like trust. By the end of the day, a producer approached Jackie and asked his name. Not because of a stunt. Because of presence. Because something about him stayed on screen even when he wasn't meant to. Jackie bowed politely and answered. Then he looked across the set. Bruce was packing up, already halfway gone, leaving no trail behind him. But the space he left felt fuller than before. Jackie understood then. Some teachers don't shape your technique. They reshape your direction. And that kind of lesson doesn't end when the cameras stop.